Who says size matters? When it comes to everyday carry, small often means smart. These days, you can hide a handful of 9mm in a mouse-sized pistol that virtually disappears under clothing, yet still trust it to work when it counts. In this video, we'll look at the tiniest defensive handguns Americans actually rely on, from ultra-compact semi-autos to stubby little revolvers. We're talking real-world experience here, so I'm going to point out what makes each one tick or click in a life-or-death scenario, and maybe crack a joke or two along the way. Think of it as your pocket-size arsenal guide. Let's tap into North American Arms. 22. Long Rifle Mini Revolver. This one's basically pocket. Swiss cheese the North American Arms 22. LR Mini Revolver is about as small as a one-shot Derringer, except it holds 5 rounds. It's practically more novelty than a battle wagon. But here's the kicker, it actually works. This tiny shooter is quite reliable and gave me no issues with any ammunition I put through it. I would rather have the Endo-A Mini Revolver than not if it were my only choice. Yep, even 5.22 LR bullets in an 8-ounce frame beat having empty hands. Accuracy is laughable, and reloading is a fiddly pain. You practically rebuild it cylinder peg by peg. But if worst comes to worst, it'll bark. Imagine the ideal gun for an ultra-deep carry situation. Yep, this is it. One dude even quipped he'd take it if he had to carry in a Speedo. As absurd as that sounds, NAA's Mini proves that sometimes something, even a handful of 22s, beats nothing when your back's against the wall. Ruger LCR 38 Special. Ruger's LCR revolver is one of those deals where a premium price gets you premium reliability. Chambered in 38 Special, with some Plus P models available. This little revolver uses Ruger's excellent Hogue grip to tame recoil in an ultra-compact frame. Importantly, it just flat-out works. In one extensive range test, the 9mm version of the LCR ran 100% reliable with factory loads, and the same goes for the 38 model we'd carry in a pinch. You load it, close the cylinder, and it goes bang every time. No jams, no weird FTFs. Like a loose, limp wrist might cause. It's not blazing fast to shoot every pull of that heavy trigger. Feels like a punch, but that trade-off buys you rock-solid dependability. In short, the LCR is an honest-to-goodness house gun in snub-nose clothing, a tool you can hide in a pocket or purse and completely forget about until you need it. I know guys who keep one on their desk drawer 24/7. The revolver design means you can feed it any 38 or 38 plus P ammo and not worry about cycling. It won't win any holster drag matches, but in a firefight, its simplicity inspires confidence. It'll fire after sitting around for years and never let you down. Smith & Wesson J-frame. 38 Special Revolver. You can't talk about compact revolvers without mentioning the S&W J-frame. For over half a century, these little 5-shot 38s have been the detective's choice for off-duty guns. Why? Because they simply disappear under clothes and fire without fail. Put it down, the S&W J-frame revolver has earned its reputation as one of the most trusted concealed carry firearms in America. It's small, reliable, and purpose-built for the kind of close-quarters defense. Indeed, millions of these have been carried in pockets and purses. They're featherweight in modern alloys. Think 11 to 14 ounces snag-free, no hammer clicking on your cover garment, and unfussy. Each long pull of the double action just rotates a fresh round in place of the last. No feeding issues, no stovepipes. Just pure 100% mechanical reliability. Yes, you only get 5 shots of 38 or 357 if you go hot, but most folks say in a real gunfight you won't fire more rounds than that anyway. Many veteran carriers will tell you when the stakes are life and death, it's better to have an easy-to-use hammerless snubby you can count on than a stashed full-size pistol you might not even reach. In tight quarters, J-frames often win wars by being simpler and always on the ready. Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 380. Alright, shifting back to pistols. The S&W Bodyguard 380, originally made by charter, later by S&W, is a pocket pistol with a funny history. It once came with an internal laser, but at its core, it's just a tiny 380 self-loader. It's fairly lightweight, around 12 ounces, and measures about 5 inches long, so it's in the same category as the Ruger LCP. What's not to like in testing? Reviewers often say this gun gives you a very reliable little weapon. In other words, it can grind through rounds all day without hiccups. One analyst noted he never had it malfunction at all, provided the shooter held it firm. It's a blowback design with a fixed firing pin, meaning there's one less moving part to break or misalign. The downside: it's got a long double-action pull and snappy recoil, not a breeze to shoot quickly, especially for beginners. But honestly, that heavy DA trigger is its built-in safety, and there's even a tiny manual safety for extra peace of mind. None of that affects its dependability, though it just works. If you do shoot it a lot, you might want to ditch that built-in laser and carry a plain model. The laser adds weight and glare. But for deep concealment, in gym shorts, or even a back pocket, the Bodyguard 380 has quietly earned a following. Trustworthy. Absolutely. Comfortable shootability. That's another story new shooters will be surprised by the kick. But on a bad day, this one is counting on its track record of doing its job, not on winning any least recoil awards. Sig Sauer P238 380. Here's a classic Sig's P238 380. Picture a miniaturized 1911, same controls manual thumb. Safety beaver tail SA trigger, but scaled way down and chambered in 380. This little steel pistol is a real sweetheart to shoot. It points naturally, the short single-action trigger breaks cleanly, and accuracy is quite good for such a pocket gun. Weighing about 15 ounces, it's heavier than polymer micros, so recoil is a bit tamer. One tester summed it up: the P238 is accurate, comfortable, and most importantly, incredibly reliable. That reliability has made it a day-in, day-out carry gun, for some who'd rather punch a few 380 holes than lug around a heavier 9mm in summer. The P238 wasn't cheap, but it came with Sig's fit and finish and a crisp trigger, as good as many full-size autoloaders. If you're wondering, the newer P238 brethren are basically the same deal. So feel free to swap at will. My one gripe is the tiny safety lever. It's so small I have to really get my thumb out of the way to flick it. But hey, that's part of the package for carrying cocked and locked. Overall, this Micro 1911 won't win any concealment beauty pageants, but it absolutely does its job. In big shoes, it's small. In reliability, it's Sig, and you can bet it will go bang when you want it to. Ruger LCP Max 380. Once upon a time, Ruger's LCP 380 was the gold standard of pocket pistols. Then they had an epiphany. Hey, what if we stretch that grip a bit? The result was the LCP Max, essentially a double-stack LCP 380 that takes 11 + 1 rounds. If you had doubts about a pocket 380, this thing will level your doubts. One carry columnist said a Ruger LCP Max was the most capable gun I could comfortably carry. With 11 rounds of 380, it gave me double the capacity of my pocket revolvers, while still being ultra-compact and invisible under a tucked-in shirt. In other words, it changed the game for mouse guns. The LCP Max retains that polymer frame and fixed barrel setup, but Ruger upgraded the sights and trigger. It's not a tack driver, but surprisingly shootable. The nice orange front sight and soft trigger make it easier to actually hit what you're pointing at. Best of all, it disappears on your person. I carry an LCP Max in summer and literally forget it's there until I grab my wallet. It's that light and slim. It's basically Dad's old snubby, but with a friendlier magazine, and without the need to jack in the hand to rack it. For deep cover carry in shorts or a summer suit, nothing else beats it. Pop extra mags in your pocket and you've got serious punch. Just remember, it's still 380, so shot placement is key. But with modern defensive 380 ammo, it'll do the job. Either way, Ruger's LCP Max is proof that you can carry more than you think in a nearly invisible package. Glock 4343. X 9mm. Glock's answer to pocket carry was the Model 43. No frills, no gimmicks, just Glock reliability in a really slim 9mm. In fact, one review bluntly says it's easy to see why the Glock 43 is one of the most popular CCW pistols. It's small, has decent capacity, and is utterly reliable. Those are fighting words backed by real-world carry stats. The G43 is literally seen everywhere, from citizen holsters to police backups. It's 6+1 out of the box, But Glock's pinky extension mags bump it to 9+1, so don't dismiss it for ammo count. And now with the 43x48 slimline variants, you can choose a longer grip 10+1 in the same slim frame. The trade-offs: the G43 is short and skinny, so recoil can snap your wrist if you shoot fast. But again, that's living with the territory. I've put hundreds of rounds through mine and haven't babied it once. No key mods needed, no fancy safeties to remember. You load it and it goes bang every time. It's also wicked easy to find holsters for. In fact, I once walked into a Dallas convenience store and saw two other guys debating G43 versus 42 while grabbing pop, no joke. If you're brand new to carry or you're a Glock fan, this is the sweet spot. It's the perfect first CCW for many and a lifelong backup for others. Basically, it's the little black dress of pistols, understated but effective. The only two things you better carry on you are this Glock and an extra mag, because doubling 6 to 12 is free. Springfield Hellcat, 9mm. In the corner you have a Springfield Armory Hellcat, a high-capacity Micro 9 that sprang up to slug it out with the Sig P365. And boy did it throw a punch. The Hellcat is about Glock 43 sized, but it ships with an 11+1 mag, and even comes with a 13+1 extended by default. That's right, one more bullet in your pocket compared to most competitors. In fact, one early review put it bluntly: the Hellcat's 11+1 capacity puts it head and shoulders above almost every other comparable pistol. The gun has a faster slide travel to manage that recoil, plus clever adaptive grip texture, sharp up top, smooth lower, so it only grips your hand when you need it. And the sights: a bright fiber optic front plus an intuitive U-notch rear make it surprisingly fast to aim for such a small gun. Basically, Springfield proved you could have striker fire reliability and snappy concealed carry capacity. I'll be honest, it's snappy to shoot, you will notice it, but training and a good two-handed hold tames it. I've carried one casually, and even without an extended mag, it feels rock solid in hand. It's as if they took a Glock 43 and said, "Hold my beer, I got one more bullet than you." No wonder experts say it runs neck and neck with the P365. If you want to max out rounds in a tiny 9mm, the Hellcat is your new BFF. Just don't confuse cat with calico. This little cat's got claws. Sig Sauer P365 9mm. Taking the top spot is the gun that kicked off this whole revolution, the Sig Sauer P365. Released in 2018, it turned the concealed carry world upside down. In a package not much larger than the old 380 pocket guns, Sig crammed a 10+1 capacity, 17+1 with extensions now and a fantastic trigger. One called the P365, the pistol that changed the face of concealed carry. I'd say that's pretty accurate. The 3.1-inch barrel in a 5.8-inch gun gives you 9mm ballistics almost on par with full-size pistols, and shooters have put thousands of rounds through them with zero headaches. As the dust settled on early production quirks, it proved its reliability and became a top seller. That means cops, soldiers, moms, and dads trust this mouse gun. It's got day-night sights, a tritium dot front, and a grip frame that just melts into your hand. One fun fact: 2 stock magazines for the P365 give you 10+10 rounds. Same firepower as a Glock 19, but the pistol itself is tiny. That's almost like magic. If you're debating between a tiny gun or a chunkier one, the P365 lets you have the best of both worlds: a standard self-defense cartridge and comfort of carry. No wonder Sig's lineup has exploded into variants like XL and X Macro. On that legacy. I'll admit I used to wonder if such a small gun could really deliver. After lugging one around myself, I'm sold. Its reputation isn't hype. In a pinch, that 12-round Micro G19 will feel like carrying a bazooka in a purse or pocket. And there you have it, our rundown of micro guns Americans trust with their lives. Each of these tiny carry pistols and revolvers earned its spot by being dependably ready when called upon. Keep in mind, the best self-defense gun is the one you can actually carry and shoot well. So train with whatever mouse gun you pick, but know that even the smallest warrior can hit like a heavyweight. Stay safe out there. Keep exercising your Second Amendment right. And let us know in the comments which one of these little powerhouses do you trust on your hip.